I'm a fucking student of war. I know all the warriors from Charlemagne, Achilles, the #1 warrior of all warriors. From then Alexander, Napoleon, I know them all. I read them all, I studied them all. I know the art of fight, I know the art of war. That's all I ever studied. That's why I'm so feared. That's why they feared me when I was in the ring. Because I was an annihilator. That's all I was born for.
Mike Tyson was born with an innate curiosity for violence. He enjoyed every aspect of war and pain, from reading it in books such as Carl von Clausewitz and observing it in his own but equally more scientifically sadist coach, Cus D'Amato. But he enjoyed giving and receiving war and pain in the ring itself. "I love to hurt," he would say. He embodied the dark side of psychology, dancing with the dark tetrad of psychopathy, Machiavellianism, narcissism, and especially sadism. This, you could say, is the complete opposite of the lighter Muhammad Ali, who also had high levels of narcissism but generally had a different mindset for the game. Tyson understood this, stating although he greatly admired Ali, he didn't relate with him on any level apart from being black. Tyson instead took the coat with another influence, Roberto Duran, a fighter who resembled Mike himself more than anyone else, both coming from similar backgrounds of poverty and abuse. Tyson was also incredibly tactical in how he presented himself. Like the influences of Machiavelli and Alexander the Great, he knew the power fear had as a tool for dominating his opponents. He would capitalize on fear by defeating great fighters and remarking right after how he would dismantle anyone else who would try to fight him. Just like Machiavelli wrote in The Prince about being audacious after cutting the king's head off. Those messages would send shockwaves down his future opponents and psychologically affect them, giving Tyson more leverage for inciting violence. As a boxer, however, Tyson didn't just instill or command fear. Fear commanded him also. It was a force that led him as much as he led it. The philosophy would be apparent when he would state how he would be more afraid of losing than dying. Now imagine going to a ring with a man who is more afraid of losing than dying. Not many have this mentality. It's a very primal but honorable mindset, one that our ancestors had when they fought. They put their tribe and their honor above all else, including their lives. This apparent lack of fear when it comes to death is another interesting pillar of Tyson's mind and philosophy of war. He states that death is as beautiful as life, since there is no life without death, and no death without life. This type of thinking aligns with his mindset for fighting, the mindset that proclaims that this battle will be brutal, dirty, beautiful, and glorious at the same time, and one of us will die in the ring, and it won't be me. He wants it to end with a kill, and if it doesn't, then it wasn't the fight he wanted or was interested in. This ideology is reflected in his training, where he commits fully, backed by the belief that he was born to be a fighter, and that he is nothing but a fighter, and he will prove that in the ring always. He would fight multiple times a month, more than the average, which would be a fight or two every 3 months. But his schedule for violence was what made him above average.
Now those days are gone, it's empty, I'm nothing. I'm working on being the art of humbleness. Can you believe in me? That's the reason why I'm crying, because I'm not that person no more. And I miss him. Because sometimes I feel like a bitch. Because I don't want that person to come out, because if he comes out, hell is coming with him.